Well, for more on this, I'm joined in studio by our reporter, Abongile Dumako. Thanks very much, Abongile, for joining us.
Good afternoon.
A lot of issues that the ANC is having to consider. Of course, today they have their Lekgotla. It's pretty much the last day. What are the key issues, do you think?
Well, certainly, Nombo, it's been quite a tense and hectic weekend for the ruling party. From Friday, as you were saying in our introduction, that there was the NWC followed by the NEC, and subsequently yesterday the Lekgotla, which continues and of course expected to wrap up today. A number of issues, in fact, on all these three meetings or these three gatherings. The issue of SOEs has been top of the agenda. And of course, if you remember, just recently, last week, when we were in Kimberley, it dominated headlines in the fact that we saw, load shedding coming up or being implemented much earlier than the promise that was made by President Cyril Ramaphosa of the 13th of January, which, of course, David Mabuza, who is the Deputy President, said that the Department of Public Enterprises, the Minister, and, of course, the Chairperson of ESCOM having misled the country and the President itself when it comes to the implementation of load shedding in the country. Now, basically, the issue of SOEs is to actually get into the deeper challenges that the ruling party finds itself in when it comes to administering, these SOEs, to make it a point that at least if there are interventions at all that needed to be, put across, that they can always be implemented, at least to make sure that if at all load shedding does come, it doesn't come as severe as we've seen in the past couple of months. And of course, Ace Magashule, the Secretary General of the ANC, does outline some of the other issues that they are discussing right now at the Lekgotla.
Our focus for the last 2 days and for these 4 days will be on the economy, on the state-owned enterprises in terms of our comprehensive approach, on the issue of land, amendment to Section 25 of the Constitution, working together with society, working together with our allies.
So, of course, Abongile, municipalities are also top of the agenda. I would actually argue it's probably one of the most important issues that they're discussing, because that is at the coalface of where government is supposed to be delivering. But in many instances, they're just not doing that. And you talked about Kimberley. The supporters coming out on the one hand, but on the other coming out and saying, you know what, we're not happy with you, ANC government. You haven't been providing us with services, here, there and everywhere, education, health and so on.
Well, basically, in that front, Ace Magashule quite vigilant yesterday when we spoke to him during that press briefing, saying that they'll kick the whip. It's about time that local government focuses on what they're supposed to be doing, as opposed to just doing things wishy-washy as we've been witnessing. Of course, admitting that when they were in Kimberley just a couple of, last week for the 108th celebrations for the party, that they saw sewage, across the street, people coming to them saying that as much as we love the party, rightfully so, but we're not happy with how things are being done on the grassroots level in as far as service delivery is concerned. Now, Ace Magashule is saying that they will be working with COGTA, the department, and Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma to actually come up with plans or rather solutions which include the district development model that they were telling us about. That it's about time that to make it a point that from the national level right through to province, straight down to the local level, there's interventions, and of course there's continuation of how things are being implemented. Let's take a listen once again to Ace Magashule as he explains how these, the challenges that face municipalities will be attended to.
We are also going to focus on the issue of local government this year to ensure, because we have seen as we are walking the streets of Northern Cape, we have seen sewage all over, we have seen rubbish and refuse all over, and we are saying we're not going to allow these things. There are going to be consequences.
So the ANC really can't afford to mess around in this regard, because next year are the local elections.
Yes, the time is fast running out. If they don't get their house into order, if you like, the trust will fast, go, because locals can only allow you so much to make mistakes, if you like. But now, of course, 2021 local government elections, and of course, with the anticipation that there's going to be new parties that come to the fore, the last thing you want is to be lacking when it comes to service delivery and not make the people on the ground, who are the main clients in as far as your voting base is concerned, then you are surely in trouble.
Yes, indeed. Abongile, thank you very much for your feedback on what's been happening at the ANC various meetings. My colleague there, Abongile Dumako.